Hello, my name is Anastasia Mattia and I'm Swedish, German, and Greek. Today I have prepared a little speech talking about my hobbies. Many people would say that what I consider to be my hobby isn't actually a real hobby. My hobby is my job. The field that I work in satisfies me. I work in the gastro business, and when I say it satisfies me, I mean that seeing my customers enjoy and appreciate the environment, the communication that takes place between us, and baking the cakes and preparing the food and the positive feedback is what I really enjoy, and I get this drive to continue and the joy out of what I do. So I will begin by giving you a little background information so that you really understand what it is I am talking about. I come from a family of cooks. My parents, my cousins, my half-sister, everybody works in different branches of gastronomy, with pastry, with cooking, with different cuisines. My sister, for example, she has an Indian restaurant. My cousins, they live in Ireland and they have a Michelin star restaurant. So we come from a very diverse branches. So 4 years ago, my family and I moved to Germany, to a small town called Bad Kreuznach, located around 20 kilometers from Mainz. I came to Germany with my parents with a thought of studying at a German university, which, due to the German system of recognition of international applications, failed. They didn't recognize my high school diploma, so I started a so-called Ausbildung, which is a German program where you go to school twice a week, and the rest of the week you go and work at the company you've chosen. And I worked for this company around 12 months, but it wasn't really fulfilling my needs. So one day I was walking in Bad Kreuznach in the city and I came across an empty store. And I went home all excited to my mother and said, "Mom, for a very long time you have been talking about opening something new, something small, something that won't be too much work, but at the same time you will have something to do." And we directly called, saw the place, signed the contract. It all went very fast, and we started to rebuild the inside into what we wanted. And one of my hobbies is painting and craft work, really designing things on my own. And this is exactly what we did at our cafe. So for about 4 months, every day after my Ausbildung work, I picked up my mother, and we spent hours repairing and designing the cafe just the way we wanted. We changed the floors together, we built the bar from scratch with wood and steel, we painted, we decorated, we searched for new furniture, and really bought up the place the way we wanted to. We finally opened up the cafe in December, a little bit before Christmas time, and we started up with a very big boom. The cafe is a Swedish cafe, so we have all kinds of Swedish specialities, which is very different in Sweden. Very different than other places here in Germany. So the cakes are different, the food we serve is different, and just this whole creativity is what really makes me happy and what really keeps me going, and that is exactly what my job offers me. Something else I love to do, I would call a hobby, is to meet new people. I like to engage and understand personalities, and this is what the cafe offers me daily. Although we are in a small town and we have a lot of regulars, we still attract a lot of tourists due to the location and the concept of the cafe. We are really located in a very touristy part of the city, on the bridge, and these are small houses that stand in the water and on this bridge. And this is kind of the heart of Bad Kreuznach, so we really do attract all the tourists. And this means that we get to meet new people, we understand people. As a good gastronome, you really need to understand what people need without them actually having to explain everything to you. And of course it's easier with the regulars because you know what they want, but you really need to have this person, you need to be a person's person, I would call it. And the relationships we have built with our customers makes the cafe have a very unique ambiente, and the customers love this. And they also love that it's me and my mother, and they really enjoy this home feeling. So, for example, last December we celebrated our 2-year anniversary. All our customers, the cafe was full. They all came with gifts, with flowers, with friends, they really came and they wanted to see us and talk to us, and they really showed us the appreciation and how happy they were that we were there. What I also enjoy doing is cooking and baking, and I like to try new recipes and mix things together and find out what fits with what and what doesn't, and how these tastes mix together. And this is something that I can do at the cafe. Since we serve meals, and we have a system that we change our menu, we have our set menu, and then we have a system that we change our menu weekly, so that the customers don't really get bored, because we have a lot of regulars, as I said, so they don't get bored of the food. And so this allows you to change around, mix around, and really try different tastes. And of course, if it doesn't taste to me, I will not serve it. But it really is something that I love to do. Sundays, me and my mother sit down. We choose the menu for the next week, for the upcoming week, and we always contemplate what we can do first, what we cannot, what did customers like, what they didn't like. Once a week, we spend quality time together baking, and there we also try new recipes, of course. Although we have our standards, which people of course love, but we also kind of try to do different things so that people really do not always come and have to choose the same thing. So we might not have such a big selection, but it's always different, it's always diverse. As I mentioned, a lot of people may think this isn't a hobby, or it is a very strange thing that my job is my hobby. However, I believe it is important. You should do something you love, and you should feel alive from what you're doing. And I believe that you should work in the field that you really enjoy doing, so which is your hobby, basically. To conclude, the positive feedback is what really keeps me motivated. It is really what keeps the passion alive, and what I do makes other people happy, which then makes me happy. I enjoy spending time with my mother, in the kitchen with her. I love to create, and this is something I think about every day. How can we change the style? With small changes now, and then always try to make the cafe a little bit more homey, a little better every day. With just small things, just not big things. It doesn't have to be big changes. People really appreciate the small things as well. I love to meet new people, and this is something that the gastro business really offers me every day. Of course, there's a lot of strange people and picky people, and this is also what makes it interesting to see how people react in different situations. It is definitely a lot of work, since I study on this side at Schiller University, and I basically barely have any time to do anything for myself. What I do in the evenings is go do some sports at the gym, which is something that I really love. Before, I used to play sports. I used to play handball and badminton, and I used to swim. But with the time, with studies and with work, I really couldn't do this anymore, so I stopped for a while. But now I have started coming back to my routines a little bit again. However, it makes me happy when I'm at the cafe, and I really realize this the most when I'm missing for a couple days, and then when I really have this feeling that I want to come back.